This is the BENIFORE two-seater electric bike. The first thing you notice is how the overall look really stands out. It's got this step-through frame that feels super inviting and doesn't look intimidating at all. The finish is matte black, kind of minimal but absolutely modern. And when you see the thick 20-inch tires and rear seat with a little backrest, it's clear this isn't your average single-rider e-bike. From my experience, one of the main reasons I wanted to check this out is simply because I needed a way to take my kids along on short trips. And the two-seater design does exactly that. I was a little skeptical at first, honestly, because most folding e-bikes only say 2 seats, but don't really make the second seat usable for anything but a small bag. But with this one, the back seat is padded, there are actual foot pegs for the passenger, and the backrest can be removed if you want to switch it up. My child felt secure and comfortable, and that alone made this design worth talking about. Let's get into the key features and talk a bit about what makes the BENIFORE stand out for daily use. It's driven by a 1200-watt peak motor and a 720 watt-hour removable battery. To put it simply, this means it's powerful and can last pretty long. From my experience, that power isn't just for show. On my first rides, even with 2 riders, this bike handled city hills and rougher paths without any drama. The pedal assist kicks in quickly. And for those who aren't familiar, pedal assist is when the bike's electric motor helps you out as you pedal, so you're not working as hard. And if you don't feel like pedaling, there's a throttle, like a little accelerator, which lets you zip along by just turning the handlebar. For anyone new to e-bikes, this takes away a lot of the fear about getting tired or sweaty during a commute. And with the cruise control feature, you can lock in your speed without holding the throttle, which sounds like a small thing, but it really takes the effort out of longer rides. I was pleasantly surprised by how smooth the ride is, especially for a folding bike. The front suspension, which is basically a shock absorber for bumps, can be adjusted, useful for different weights or riding styles. The 3-inch fat tires aren't just for looks. They handle city potholes, gravel, grass, and even a bit of sand without making the bike feel wobbly. These so-called fat tires are much wider than standard bike tires, and the extra width means you don't feel every little crack in the road. For anyone who has hesitated about going off the main road on an e-bike, I found that the BENIFORE handled light trails and uneven paths way better than I was expecting. Safety was basically my biggest question with a folding two-seater. I was genuinely worried about the brakes when I first got it, since the bike is heavier than most singles, about 67 pounds. The disc brakes, front and back, have been strong enough for quick stops, although from my experience, you do need to plan ahead a bit and start braking early. These are designed for controlled slowing rather than sudden skids. That's honestly probably a good thing since you don't want your passenger jerked around. I also noticed the big 180mm brake rotors, which for anyone not familiar, means the part that the brakes clamp onto is larger, giving you better stopping power and more control of slopes or with heavier loads. For night rides, the built-in lights make a huge difference. The headlight is bright enough to light up city paths, and the rear taillight even includes turn signals, which is pretty rare on e-bikes. I just have to push a button, and everyone behind me knows where I'm going. The idea is simple, but in reality, these signals definitely increase my confidence making turns in traffic, since I don't have to awkwardly signal with my hand while steering. Now, a quick review on portability, because I know lots of people want to keep their e-bike in a small apartment or take it in the car. The BENIFORE folds in half at the frame, the handlebars drop down, and despite being 67 pounds, it's compact enough to fit in my trunk. It's not something I'd want to carry up lots of stairs every day, but for putting it in my SUV or storing it by the door, it works. The folding mechanism feels sturdy, and there's a solid locking pin, so the frame doesn't move when riding. I really like that you don't need any special tools to fold or unfold the bike. One feature I didn't expect to use much, but now really like, is the step-through design. This means you don't have to swing your leg high over the bar. You just step right through the frame. Honestly, this is so much easier for me, especially when carrying a kid or a bag, and I imagine it's perfect for shorter or older riders. The seat and handlebars both adjust quickly using simple levers, so you can get comfortable fast. This makes the bike way more approachable for people who maybe aren't regular cyclists. Security is another area where BENIFORE went the extra mile. There's an NFC smart locking system built in, which felt pretty futuristic the first time I tried it. Instead of fiddling with a key, I just hold my phone or the included NFC card near the bike and it unlocks. It's a cool way to stop anyone from just grabbing the bike, And honestly, it makes me feel more secure when leaving it outside a store or school. From my research, some older Motorola phones reportedly had trouble pairing, but my iPhone had zero issues. From my experience, the battery life is true to what BENIFORE claims. I easily got over 45 miles with 2 people using a mix of pedal assist and throttle. If you're lighter or mostly solo with pedal assist, I can see the 60 to 65 mile range being realistic. Charging is straightforward, and you can take the battery off the bike to charge it indoors if you need to. Handy if you live in an apartment. Just speaking honestly, there are a couple of things I'd keep in mind. The bike isn't light, even folded, so if you're planning to lift it daily, that might be something to consider. Also, the backrest on the passenger seat is detachable, which is good for swapping it out, but I find it needs to be tightened now and then if you're carrying a heavier passenger. The 7-speed Shimano shifter is a solid inclusion, not fancy but perfect for city riding and light hills. If you're totally new to bike gear systems, this just means you can shift to easier gears for going uphill or faster gears when cruising flat roads. Gears shift smoothly, and I never felt like I couldn't keep up. So who is this bike really for? In my opinion, it's perfect for city commuters who also do family trips or want to haul groceries and maybe a pet. The fat tires and good suspension also make it solid for people who like to ride on trails, grass, or parks, not just straight pavement. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for versatility, especially if you want flexibility for different riders or need to carry a second person now and then. If you've got space in your car or just want something that won't limit you to a single type of ride, the BENIFORE really does offer a lot without being overly complicated. And if you're nervous about assembly, this bike comes almost completely set up. Out of the box, I only needed a few minutes and basic tools to get riding. In conclusion, the BENIFORE 2-seater electric bike covers so many bases, from strong performance to family convenience and safety features. Most e-bikes just skip. It's not the lightest on the market, but for me comfort, battery range, solid brakes, and passenger setup make it totally worth it. Whether you're running errands, bringing your kid to school, or just enjoying an evening ride, this gets the job done with style and little effort. I'll leave the details about the BENIFORE 2-seater electric bike in the comments for you to check out. See you in the next video.